That's a gator right there. Can you see it? Now, I've mentioned in videos that I was targeted due to a 1996 investigation of a U.S. Air Force pilot named Mike Brady. Now, the Central Intelligence Agency in the past has investigated criminal matters like deaths of people in the military. And according to rules I've read that they are under, they're allowed to investigate certain types of criminal acts. So even though I passed a polygraph test and passed all their tests, I didn't have a murder weapon, there was no secret room like they said in my house. I volunteered in every single way I could. They swore I had the murder weapon, that there was no way it could have been moved, that it was impossible. They swore that I was guilty of this crime, and that they told me if I failed a polygraph test, I'd be charged. If you see me looking back, it's because there's gators in the swamp. So I gotta be careful. So the CIA is allowed to investigate people, and these investigations can go on for life. Literally as long as I'm alive. So the only way, from what I understand, the government can use like Freemasons, a bunch of groups to target and harass someone, is if they're being labeled a threat, like to safety, public safety, national security. Now, these mutual aid agreements that we see, like on files in Florida, this even is intermingled into your school board. So if you're being harassed, like in Texas, like I was, by members of the school board, members of a variety of different groups, well, it's typically tied to some type of mutual aid agreement. See, I have videos in every state, and it shows teachers confronting me, doing odd stuff like whistling in my face, asking cashiers to whistle in my face. One guy even told me he was offered a better position at the school board. He was from Nepal. And we used to be pretty tight. We used to talk here and there. So he told me, he started acting really rude with me. Every time I'd go in, he'd go, he wouldn't say hi or nothing. And he'd always say hi. So I talked to him and they said, hey man, why are you doing this? I got neighbors doing this. When I pass by, they walk out of their house and go, been harassed by Citizens Corps, this guy and this woman that coming up as CIA contractors, being harassed by women every day, like every other day, being harassed and followed. So he told me he was offered a better paying job through the school board. So many school boards, like you can go online, type up emergency management, Orlando, Florida. It may come up, your local school administrator or something like that as the emergency management director for schools. So they have an emergency management director. They have different types of groups. Like, let me give you an example. Right now I'm on a 23-mile bike trail. And even though there's not a soul out here, I looked online just to see if there's any type of groups that may harass me. There's a biking trail group. And that's a good thing, because if someone's getting raped, injured, at least someone may pass by every few hours, or at least every day, to check up on the area. So there are different types of groups, like Business Watch, Apartment Watch. There's no telling who can be recruited into a group. All it takes is someone saying, hey, you live in the vicinity of this guy right here, we're keeping an eye on him. If you see him, whistle. We're trying to make him aware that the community is watching him. So everywhere you go, you may experience this. And later on in life, you may discover false reports. This is no joke. Like I've shared on my Twitter page, restricted 75921. Click on the first link and it shows a file from a fusion center. Now, I'm not into the dark web, but there's a group, it's called DDO Secrets. And if you suspect that you could be on some type of government list for the fusion center, well, you want to check this out. If you have Linux or Windows, there's a free program. Go to DDoS Secrets and just type on their search bar Blue Leaks or Data Leaks. Look for Blue Leaks. I think you got to download a product called Transmission. And you just click on it, enter the file link. It's a large file, so it may take like a half a day or like 12, 14 hours to download. I forgot how many gigs it is. So make sure you have a large flash drive, or maybe have an old flash drive from a computer with a USB adapter. And once you get it, you just gotta unpack it. And I'll share with you guys a little secret of how I found myself really quick in the files. Just go on click on the PDF and press, Control F, and type in your name. That might help you to scroll through the files faster. Now this company, one of this company's hacking group, had these files at one time hosted on their site, and I just typed in my name, and it came up with the Fusion Center report that's totally false. Not only is it false, these people contacted me, and I put my phone on speakerphone, and I was walking with this guy from the church in Austin, Texas, and he was present, and the cop had told me that they had detained a woman that worked for a company called I think it was Apple, no, AT&T. Yeah, it was AT&T, and they tried to, the police told me to go there, and there's a federal, I think it's not a federal, but it's like the state police on the side, told me to go there because the local police told me to go to the Fusion Center to file a report on the Citizens Corps programs, a complaint. And they told me you should go talk to them. So that's what I did. So I asked for directions. There was a police station on the side of the Fusion Center right behind the DMV. They told me let's go park in there and walk in that building. That's what I did. They put down that I piggybacked in there. Yeah, I piggybacked. The janitor was right there, hit the door wide open. And I went to the front desk, asked them about the complaint procedure, where they needed to go, and they directed me to go to another building that was jam-packed with women. And what was really interesting was I recognized 3 of these women as people that harassed me in the community. So they put down in my Fusion Center a totally bogus report that if I seen people with white earbuds that I would lash out. I'm like, I wear white earbuds all the time. Who gives a damn about white earbuds? They just put down some BS on there. But what's really interesting was they try to charge, not charge me, they try to give me a police citation, a warning citation for trespassing. But at the same time while I was there, a woman was also detained by the FBI's joint counterterrorism agent that was present. Detained her, wearing white earbuds. How come that's not mentioned in my report? And then the guy that, there was this serious mass shooting that happened at a school in Texas. I forgot the name of that town. The guy that was running this, the Rangers, the Texas Rangers that works with the Fusion Centers, quit before he was fired. This guy was like given the highest position in the Texas State Rangers, and at one time lied on a man, a black man, and assaulted him. So there's obviously something wrong with this group, something seriously wrong. So when you're in this and you relocate, you could find yourself being harassed by a lot of groups. DOT has partnerships, unions. It's beyond anything that you could imagine. So I'm not saying this is all tied to mutual aid agreements, but there are a lot of people. This is no joke. There are times where I just leave my house and I bike about a mile. And it doesn't matter what time I pass by this certain house, this guy will come out wearing a blue shirt. And then when I would bike home miles later and get home, I'd be surrounded by a group of people wearing blue shirts. And then when I asked them, why are they doing this? They told me they're in fear for their children's safety. But why would someone be in fear of their children's safety if I have no sex, drug, or violence charges? I'm not a sex offender. And then when this was happening, a U.S. government vehicle, I have it on video, a blue vehicle, was pulling up right in proximity to that area. And I live in a rural area. So what the heck are a bunch of people wearing blue shirts exiting their house and confronting me, all veterans? Now this stopped, but I mentioned in a prior video, the guy's house has a sticker that's owned by the city. I did research, and another city official, 2 other city officials used to live there. So it makes me wonder, was the city promoting this? Do they have any mutual agreements? See, all it takes is a city to have a mutual agreement, and this crap can happen. And this is no joke. I mentioned in a prior video that politicians in Florida are leaving office because a bill was passed that makes them share how much money they are getting from outside resources, anything. So I'm sure they are politicians which earn money. So that way their city commissioners and people can turn a blind eye. County prosecutor. I'm sure people have to be turning a blind eye to this, because how could, they are. There's no, someone has to be benefiting from not investigating. Because how is it possible for me to record in one state, a state governor and a state attorney, another state attorney in New Mexico, both saying they want to investigate or help. And then I'm finding the police are lying. They're lying. They're lying on reports. And what's really interesting is that in Texas, the times that I was there getting harassed, sometimes these people came up as FBI agents working at the local FBI field office. So if I left New Mexico and the FBI says on their report that when I sought help, I just walked out angry when I was asking for help, that makes no sense. What they're saying is that I'm delusional and that I've never been targeted. I left Florida to move to New Mexico because I was harassed by a group called InfraGard. And then these people came my way with the CIA logo on their vehicle and gave me a hard time at libraries, schools, and they were using Citizens Corps. So mutual aid agreements are real. You're going to have to do your research. And a lot of different things you may question about the TI community, about targeted individuals, you may not find some information. Let me tell you why. Do you think the CIA is going to say, we admit to targeting this guy? They base all their activities based on deniable plausibility. And people typically don't make videos talking about this stuff unless they really don't give a damn. It's like, I care about life, I'm nonviolent, but I've been harassed so much, that's like I really don't care. Because if the government doesn't care, why should I care? So if they're going to do something illegal and get away with it, I might as well expose it. So that's all I want to share to you guys. People are trusting in people, believing in people at times, and people go along with this. It's not all. There's a lot of people do this knowing they're harming people, and then there's some that don't know. A lot of people, and they use first responders, CERT members at times as dummy pawn drones in a really sick and evil game where they're sending people out to do something and harass someone, and these people have no idea that they're being used as bait.